Welcome back to my channel. This is, of course, Alicia Ying, your success coach and psychic at yestotheying.com, where success always starts by saying yes to you. And this is another episode of Alicia's Abundance Advice. And what I wanted to talk about today was what you can do when you are having one of those cases of the blues. When I mean the blues, I'm talking about that heavy blanket of depression that can come and just like smother you for an entire afternoon, day, several days, even weeks at a time. It's something that I haven't talked about a lot, but it was something that I honestly have been through for this first month of January in 2020, and it was really, really rough. There is something very real about getting into a place where it feels like nothing is possible, or, you know, you had these dreams and aspirations, you wanted to make them happen, and yet everything that you tried, it just didn't go according to plan. The person you thought was the one turned out not to be the one. The people who you thought were going to be there for you tended to ditch you right when you needed them the most. And just whatever you tried to do to make things go right, to think positive, to be in the flow, to be high vibe and spiritually aligned, just like went out the window, and you're just left with crap. And it feels horrible. That's honestly how I have been feeling for this first month. And I wanted to let you know that something really cool happened yesterday that popped me out of it and back to my hashtag too glam to give a damn in my Making Magic Happen t-shirt today. So what you can do in these times, and I will be talking more about all of these different tips. They're definitely covered in the Master Your Art of Manifesting course that I have. But here's the deal. On one note, it is super, 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 super important to learn how to take care of yourself. This is where self-care totally comes in. So when you get down in the dumps, if you take the time to take care of yourself, that would be step number one. Take the time to take care of you. So for you, whether that is like shutting off all social media and just binge watching Netflix for an entire day, then you do that. If it's taking a nap, then do that. If it's crying your eyes out into a pillow, do that. If it is going to the gym and CrossFitting your little heart out, then do that, right? Because I could sit here and tell you all the live long day that all you have to do is just quiet your mind and everything is going to be great. And I'm telling you, I have an entire magical toolkit of self-help and self-care tools that I personally use. And there are times, like it had been this month, where none of them fucking worked. It didn't get me back to this place where I feel like myself again. Here's what's interesting. Number one, you have to take time to actually do the self-care, for sure. And then, so step two is to do what makes you feel better. So, and when I say better, I don't mean all of a sudden getting back to that happier place, but getting to a place where you feel a little bit more relief, okay? So we're not talking about all of a sudden going from I'm depressed, nothing else is ever gonna go right in my life, why am I even existing on this planet, to like, oh my God, I'm so aligned and I'm like hashtag slaying it. It's too high of a jump. It's too far of a leap. So when someone just tells you like, oh, you're like, you know, you're already killing it, you're like, yeah, I don't believe that, because it's too high of a jump vibrationally to get to. So what you want to do is you want to just reach for a better feeling thought. So this is something that started to help me pop out of it, where you can start to tell yourself like, you know what, like I'm really looking forward to being on the other side of this. I'm really looking forward to when I'm not feeling super depressed anymore. I'm really looking forward to when, you know, I am going to get everything that I want and I don't have to work so hard, or whatever it is. I just really am looking forward to when I can stop crying about this, whatever it is. That's a thought that you can start thinking. And a thought that started helping me too was like, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out in my favor. And the reason why I really like that phrase, things are always working out for me, and making that a belief, is because here's the logic behind it. If that can be a thought that brings you relief, then it's good, because if things are always working out for you, even if you're in the dumps, even if shitty things have happened, even if the thing that you wanted didn't come the way that you wanted it to, or it was taken away from you, then if things are always working out in your favor, then that bad stuff had to happen, because things are always working out for you. You're always going to get what you want at the end of the day. So maybe this bad thing is good. Maybe you had to lose the thing, because ultimately, if what you really wanted was the man, the money, and the $1 million empire, or whatever, what have you, right? You're happily ever after, then getting those things removed, whether you were ready to have them leave your life or not, was actually a good thing, because things are always working out for you and the universe always has your back. So something better has to come along. It just has to. You may not be able to see it right now. You may not be able to feel it right now. You not be able to like know what it is, but it has to, because things are always working out for you, right? So that was a thought that kind of like started to help me feel a little better. Again, we're not looking for like, oh my God, I'm like the queen of the universe and everything's great. Just, I'm feeling a little better. So that's one thing. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working in my favor. That's another little twist on it. So just try out which one works better for you, and then just start saying that over and over. What I also did, hashtag yes to the Ying hack. I wrote that on a Post-it note and I stuck it on my bathroom mirror, so that every time I went to the bathroom and I'm like doing my hair and brushing my teeth, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. Even though I don't see it right in my current reality, I know that things are always working out for me, and I'm always going to get what I want, because the universe always supports, etc., etc. And then you can get on a little bit of a rampage to get you back up to that higher vibrational point. Make sense? Okay. All of that being said, right? If you do step 1 and 2, which is take care of yourself, take time out to do the self-care, and then do whatever it takes to just marginally shift you to a better feeling place to find relief, right? And if that still doesn't work, because that's what happened to me this month, it just still didn't work, no matter what tool I used, the crystals, the oils, the tarot cards, the readings, the energy healing, none of that shit worked. You might want to ask yourself if you just need someone to acknowledge that what you're going through is okay. Here's what I mean by that. Step number 3, if step number 1 and 2 do not work, and you've like, well, okay, let me backtrack for a second. Step number 3, technically, if you're like still feeling shitty, is to then sleep a lot. A lot of the times when we're sleep deprived, when we don't drink enough water and we don't have enough healthy food, we cannot battle these depressing feelings, because just physically our energy is off. Like we literally don't have the calories and to fuel your brain in order to focus your attention on what you do want versus what you don't want. So I would say sleep a lot. If after sleeping a lot you still feel funky, then step number 4 would be what I'm talking about, which is find someone who you can talk to who can remind you that it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling, that what you are feeling is real and that it's valid, and that it's okay to feel depressed. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel hopeless or anxious or worried or stressed. This was a big game changer for me. I'm a true blue Gemini. I really discovered for myself literally last night after talking with a really good friend of mine. It was really important for me, even though I did all the things by myself, sometimes I just needed to verbally voice out, hey, I'm really depressed. This is what I'm depressed about. This is what really sucks. Analytically, I know that I can just shift my mindset because that's what I'm all about. And I know about the law of attraction. I know about all these spiritual tools, and I know I can just channel my guides. But no matter what, this and this and this and this. And this is why it's frustrating because of this, 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 and this, right? And it sucks. And it was so crazy because I only talked to my friend for like an hour or so, but I got the validation that I needed, that it was okay, that I didn't have to control everything, that it was okay to be depressed, it was okay to be sad about it, that it was okay to take time to process those feelings, and it was okay to just feel what I was feeling. And it's like there was nothing wrong with me. There was nothing, that I didn't do anything bad or wrong to, you know, to like have to be in this place, just because, I mean, as you can tell, I am a pretty positive person, but like even Wonder Woman has days when she didn't know if she was going to be able to like defeat evil. Do you know what I mean? So like even superheroes have days when they doubt. Even Harry Potter doubted at some point, right? It's okay if you doubt your own abilities. It's normal. But that's why you have Hermione and Ron, right? You have to have a support system or people that you can call that's just going to give you permission to process what you're feeling. And I think that was the big thing for me that shifted a lot last night when I was like, okay, so it's okay for me to process this. It's okay for me to feel sad. It's okay for me to like not enjoy what I'm doing and like needing to I just wanted to be heard. And I think that's another really big thing about depression, is that a lot of the times we get down to the dumps because someone doesn't understand us. The world doesn't understand what's going on and why it feels the way it feels. So if you want to seek out a therapist, or if you want to get a life coach, or if you want to get a success coach session with me, what's really amazing is like sometimes you don't even need an answer. You just need to like get it out. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I feel has helped, like literally jumped me back into who I really am, was when I just finally got it out of my system. You can do it by journaling if you want to on your own and just write it all out, like without any kind of like filter, right? This is like a hashtag no filter moment where you can just be like, this fucking sucks. I think this is unfair. I feel like this person is being a dick to me. This person is, you know, whatever, whatnot. And if you can just take the time to say, it's okay for me to feel the way I want to feel, and being brutally honest, again, a no filter situation, that really got it off my chest, so that then when I went to sleep and then I woke up this morning, it was like all of the cylinders started refiring again, where I was like, okay, let me do this. And then all of a sudden I was tuned back into like, you know, my soul and the universe and guides and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, so this is what I want. Okay. And then also once you start getting to this point, you do have to remember, and this was a big key thing that I was learning this morning, which was you stay in a continued depressive state because you're continuing to focus your attention on the things that you don't want, right? And the way to get out of it is to start thinking more about the things that you do want and how good it would make you feel to get those things. So it's so simple in concept, but when you're so down in the dumps, it's hard to turn that boat around to be like, hey, I'm just not going to think about the things that make me depressed. You know what I mean? Or the things that are stressing me out or worrying me the fuck out. So what you need to do at that point, and that's why I'm saying sometimes instead of keeping it all up in your head, try and find an actual person who will just listen and acknowledge and unconditionally love you and support you and not judge you for what you're going through. Once you get it out of your system, then you can start to focus on what you do want. Because here's the thing, the only reason why you don't have what you want is because either A, you don't really want it, or B, you're just thinking too many thoughts about, you're just focusing on the fact that you don't have it yet. And if you constantly, and the universe can't give you what you want if you're thinking a thought that's in opposition to that thought. It's just creating resistance. So the only way to release that resistance is either A, to start shifting your focus to what you do want, or B, to stop thinking about it altogether. And I will tell you from total experience, when I'm worried about money and I get freaked out about money, about not hitting my money goal, I do everything possible, and I'm like on my Poshmark, I'm like, you know, emailing clients, like da 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 da. And then finally when I'm like, you know what, fuck this, I'm just gonna knit my friend's scarf for her birthday, and I'm just like done thinking about it, and I actually just start doing something completely different, that's when like 7 sales come in and all the money just starts flowing in, right? Because I stopped that resistance. So what I encourage you to do, if you, and see, I just made another sale. Woo! Okay. Okay, so my methods are working. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out in my favor. So if you are in a depressed place, I really encourage you to be gentle with yourself, to give yourself permission to process it out without judgment. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be depressed. And then also to find someone who you can talk to that's not going to judge you and is just going to listen and acknowledge you and validate the fact that what you're feeling is okay and it's normal, and that you can get out of it when you're ready, and that person is there for you no matter what. And I think that's kind of what we all want ideally, right? We all just ideally want someone who's just going to be there for us no matter what. So that's something that, you know, you can start by just seeking out those friends. It can just be 1 or 2 people. My friend that I called, like, he and I have known each other for over a decade, and we just are very similar mindset wise. So he gets me and I get him, and we just get each other. So it's just, he gets it when I'm like this and this and this and that and that and that and blah, 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 blah. Now, note, asterisk mark, disclaimer. This does not mean that, you know, you get to sit in victimhood for the rest of your life and then expect it to change. This is more about honoring the fact that when this like terrible energy comes up, it's because you're actually spiritually ready to let it go. What I encourage you to like just think about is that if you're actually ready to let this go, this is just a process of feeling it and being like, oh yeah, this is how I don't want to feel anymore. I really don't want to feel depressed anymore. I want to feel better. I want to feel relief. And what would relief feel like for me? And then start trying to do little things that make you feel relief. And then from there, then really taking that time to do those self-care things, to then start to shift your mindset. And then if that doesn't work, to sleep. And then once you get enough sleep and hydrate and fuel your body, then go and talk to someone, or you can sign up for a session with me. And a lot of the times when you just get it out of your system, that's usually all it takes to then start refiring your brain to being like, oh yeah, that's right. I can be who and what I want. I'm always protected and divinely directed. And we like to go general. So you can just start with general thoughts if like the specific thoughts start freaking you out again. So for example, I was like, oh, okay, like these are my general money goals. And then I got the idea to like do a huge sale on my Poshmark thing. And that's why sales are coming in right now as we're talking. But there was a point where I was like doing this activity and I could start feeling my energy die. And then I was like, okay, if I'm really truly taking care of myself, then I know that I need to take a break. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to pause what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to go and like, you know, drink some more water. I'm going to do another activity for 5 minutes. I'm going to like do 10 jumping jack. I'm just going to do something different to get my energy back up where I feel better. Because again, when I'm focused on what I want and it makes me feel good. And when I feel good, then I'm tuned in, then I can be more apt to hear what my soul is trying to tell me. And my soul always knows the fastest path to get me from where I am to where I want to go. So then I just tune in and I get the harebrained idea to have a big sale today on my Poshmark closet, and then I just do the damn thing, right? Because I know that it's gonna bring me what I desire. And then when I just do it right in the moment without questioning it, then that's when everything starts clicking into place. That's why I decided on this random, like, I just decided to make this video right the fuck now, because why the fuck not? And I was trying to do it so that there was enough daylight so I didn't have to use my other lamp. But whatever, and then it's done, and then it's done, and it's done, and it's done, and then you can move on to the next thing, and then you'd be like, okay, what would make me feel good now? And then you start moving forwards, and then you're clicking, and then you're manifesting, and then you're co-creating with the universe, and then you can use all the awesome spiritual tools. And I'll be honest, like I went on my Snapchat and I was like, yep, I'm like too glam to give a damn today. This is what's happening. I went and I did my hair, and I used my brand new Urban Decay Naked makeup palette to do this like pretty blush pink eyeshadow shit. It doesn't matter. My point is that I just started doing things that started to make me feel better, where I was taking care of myself, where I felt like my better self, my 2.0 self. And then once that happens, then I'm out of it. And then yes, do the depressive thoughts still come in? Sure. But then because I'm already now focusing on what I want, I'm so much more aware to be like, oh wait, I'm feeling shitty right now. Okay, wait, I don't really want to feel shitty anymore. Okay, well then I'm going to stop what I'm doing, because whatever the fuck I'm doing is making me feel shitty, even if it is doing something that my intuition told me to do, which was like to do a sale in my closet. And so I was like, okay, fine. So I'm going to stop for 5 minutes. And it was fine. Nothing happened. Nobody died. I just had to pay more attention and honor how I was really feeling in the moment. There's just this such archaic way of like people saying, oh, you have to like push through it, just push it, do one more push-up, do one more thing. And I just don't like that anymore. Because it tires you out, it wears you out. And I know you have to like go out of your comfort zone in order to, to grow and expand, right? But I think that you can do it in a way that isn't so painful and isn't so like strenuous, like it should just feel good to do what you want to do. And there's a difference between feeling scared / excited and you do it anyway despite like maybe your hesitations or self-doubts, and then doing it because ultimately that you don't want to do it and that it's not what you really want and that it's not truly aligned with what you truly desire, but then you do it anyway because you are supposed to, you should, someone said so, etc. Does that make sense? So that's my little rant and tip for today in order to get you back into alignment so that you can start manifesting all of the things you want and more, including the man, the money, and the $1 million empire. If you are interested in more tips, then definitely click the subscribe button. If you liked my tips, then hit the little like button. I surely do appreciate it. And always remember that I am here for you. I love you. I am telling you that you have permission to feel how you want to feel, honor how you want to feel, and be able to process it, because you are important and your feelings are valid and they are trying to tell you something is not aligning in your life and you are ready to make a change so that you can live happily ever after and be in love with every area of your life. Thank you so much for watching. And again, success always starts by saying yes to you. I love you so much, and I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.